Well, I decided to lighten it up a little bit. That was too fucking scary. You see, I don't like scaring people. Anyone who's been on the gamers page, this page was created separately. This page is about what, 6 years old, 7 years old. On the gamers page, I had 5,000 something videos, and on the Laren von Baron page, I had a few thousand videos. Those are just moments in time, and they don't really mean anything. But if you've been here the whole time, you pretty much know that um, I'm not trying to blow my own horn here, but I'm not wrong very often. If I make a prediction, like when gaming started its whole voyage, I told everyone what was going to happen. I actually have people come to this page and tell me, bro, everything you said that was going to happen has happened. It's because God gave me a weird talent. I think it had something to do with my near-death experience, to tell you the truth, because of being able to see my whole life flash before me, every microsecond of it, every picosecond of it. It's just, imagine you have a tray that holds round pieces of glass, okay? And in that glass, for me, it looks clear. That's information that I know to be true. It's not foggy. It's crystal fucking clear. And so I drop that in my rack. And then I take the next layer. That layer either pre or post relates to that first piece of information, such as climate change. It's just basic fucking temperature, how it relates to atmosphere. So that would be a fact back here. That's a known fact. Sorry, it's fucking science. Get over it. But then there's the ones in the front that we're not sure about. Well, actually, we are sure about, but is kept extreme fucking pressure to keep that information as tamped down as possible. Then you have the sociological implications. Then you have the progressive instances of events that will basically cause chain reactions. There'll be, points of no return. And I'm not talking about feedback loops, okay? I'm talking about, seriously here, about a point of no return where it doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter what fucking technology that it currently we're allowed to know about, okay? It doesn't fucking matter, okay? There's going to come a time where, okay, it's too late and the human race will be fucking extinct. Well, that used to be 200 years for me and now it's 100. If we can get to the sociological impacts. But now I start stacking these lenses in for feedback loops. Okay? Carbon cycle in the ocean, melting of the permafrost, methane hydrate deposits. See? All of these things are all tied together. The food chain in the Arctic, right? If there's no ice, look at, they lost 1 billion snow crabs in Alaska. That's how delicate the ecosystem is. They lost 1 billion snow crabs. A mass die-off. That's how it happens. It's not like, oh, well, God, we've got so many less this year than last year. No, there's an event. That's information that goes on my slide. It's a known fact. And I drop that in the tray. And as you start dropping these little glass discs in there with all this information, it starts to form a different kind of a picture when you look through it. The truth starts becoming more and more and more and more profound and solid. And I'm not many fucking slices away from a terminal decision. Not a feedback loop, a termination. an end point where it's a point of no return. And that point is close. And scientists are freaking the fuck out. But see, oil will do everything and anything it can to stop us from using that fucking shit. All of our energy should, right now, all of our energy shouldn't be about Vladimir Putin because he wants to reconstitute the Soviet Union. Someone just needs to pop that motherfucker in the head. And then we need to get down to the business of figuring out how do we stop the world from overheating right now? How do we damp down the side effects and the feedback loops that are now happening? How do we start mitigation now, okay? If we do that, there's a possibility that we could adapt fast enough that our population could naturally not replicate as quickly, that kind of thing, where we wouldn't have 7 million people fucking starve to death or die in a nuclear conflagration because we're fighting over the very last fucking elements that we've raped from our planet. The sociological implications are not good. Okay? Just Florida, just my country, Florida. You see, they're starting to understand now. Yeah. Something's different. Something's changed. The sunny day flooding is much worse and much more severe and much more places. You got this gentrification where the people that used to live out here are now going to move here because they think they're going to have beachfront property in the fucking future. No, you're going to have a wasteland. No one's going to want to be there. A hurricane comes through there and that's it. Everything on the little pieces of barrier islands basically that'll be left. What are you going to build bridges? You see, that's where are those people going to live? All of the people that I know in the Bay Area, okay, where are they going to live? All the people in Berkeley, Albany, El Sobrante, right? Fremont, that whole fucking east side of the bay is going to be uninhabitable. Every high tide, water's going to be washing up where people live. The amount of infrastructure that will be lost. China, most of China's very poorly situated for what's coming. Okay, they're going to lose the majority of their country. California, down here, the Sacramento Valley has subsided 77 feet since we started pumping water out of the aquifer. That sounds hard to believe, but there's pictures. I showed you pictures. It lost 69 feet. I think 69 feet since 1922 to 1977. Nope, I don't have it here. Yes, I do. There it is. Okay, so 1925, this is where the ground was. This is a pipe in the ground, a steel pipe. This is where the ground was in 1925. Okay? This is where that is where it was in 1977. This is 2022. So what was a filled-in basin with very fertile soil being washed in from the mountains over the erosive process, the same way placer gold is deposited, soil is deposited, minerals and all that makes great soil, filled in the valley with this washout material, and that's why it's so good for growing food. The trouble is that we've sucked all the water out from underneath of it, and now all that clay is all compressed, and now we can't even fill it back up because we've taken all the air gaps out of the clay that used to be in there. And so now we've collapsed it. We've smashed it down. You can't fill the cup up anymore. No matter how much it fucking rains, we're not going to be able to reinflate the Valley of California. Therefore, when we get a 6 foot of added sea level because Thwaites goes, just Thwaites, not Greenland or anything else, just Thwaites, we're going to have 9 meters, actually, so 18 feet. 18 feet of water means that where this guy is standing right here, right now, right? The water will be about that high over his head right now in 1977. See, it's not. Subsidence is a serious fucking thing all over now. Because of shitty management. Because we grow food for the world and sell it for a profit. We don't grow what we need. We grow way more than we need so we can sell it and make money, and we call that an economy. Now you see what it really is a self-destructive behavior by a fucking animal that doesn't know how to exist like this. We have all this technology, and what are we doing? We're destroying the fucking world with it. And people are now starting to wake up. You have people out trying to clean the oceans, and I mean, we actually have people of action. Greta Thunberg has actually brought it to the forefront. It's okay to be a climate activist. You got people gluing themselves to places and pouring paint on. Fuck the artwork. We're not going to have a world. I'm telling you, I see that point of no return out there. It's very close. I know I've been saying that for years, but it's getting clearer. It's getting clearer. And that scares me. All I think of is my great-granddaughter will not have a full life. She will either starve, die in a nuclear conflagration, you know what I mean? Or be eaten by gangs of people roaming around looking for protein. That's what will happen in the end when civilization collapses and there's no more trucks bringing food to the supermarket. What do you think's going to happen? What is going to happen? You see, there are sociological fucking impacts to this. What happens when trucks can't drive food to Reading? That's what I'm asking you. You see, people don't have an answer for that. They don't want to talk about that, and they don't want to think about that. Where I'm at, this property I told my granddaughter, and she'll tell our great-granddaughter. This will stay in the family because one day, right here at this elevation, right where we're at, okay, just below 600 feet is going to be the prime piece of real estate throughout all of California. Anything lower, you're going to be dealing with horrible mosquito swamp-infested swamp. Any higher, you're not going to be able to produce food efficiently, not enough oxygen. Life will be difficult when you get up higher. It will get colder. There's going to be a band that's going to be livable, and this is it. Nairobi, they built that city where it is because it was above the mosquitoes. And now the city is full of fucking mosquitoes just from what we've done already with climate change. See? Chain. It's a chain. It's not a rope. And every time you add a link to the chain gets heavier until there's no fucking escape. And the chain right now, it's so heavy now that any kind of movement is extremely difficult. The petrochemical industry has dug its feet in, and it's going to continue to try to press to make us burn as much as we can, as fast as that's why gas prices are so high. They're trying to get their money now because they know their fucking cash cow is going to be forced. You can no longer milk that cow. That's what the governments of the world, as millions are starving, they're going to say, you can no longer milk that cow, motherfucker. And they're going to fight us because they're in the halls of power. This is just one of those little pieces of the lens, subsidence. There's lots of slides, and when you look through there, it is a scary fucking picture is what is manufactured. Trust me, scary, very scary. These scientists that are screaming, hair on fire, people gluing themselves to floors and paintings, I'm all for it. We are at that point. Actually, we're past that point in 2017. As it is now, millions are going to starve. Millions are going to starve. Hundreds and hundreds of millions, possibly billions of people will have to relocate. Oh, it's going to be a nightmare for the human race. I don't know that we can adapt or actually succeed in doing it. And that's so sad. And you wonder why these We have visitors from other star systems watching our planet. They're probably in shock and tears. If they wanted to get rid of us, they could have a long time ago. Any intelligent race would look at us and go, oh my God, look at this infection. Let's desterilize this fucking shit. A race that's 1 billion years more advanced than us would look at us as a bacteria. Thankfully, as you get more mature, you become more spiritual. They're here watching and concerned because they see what's happening, and they've possibly seen it happen in other civilizations. We have people wanting to clean the oceans. We have people wanting to get off oil. We have people that are taking actions now. It's not enough. We need more people. We need more people. Simple as that. Everyone should be fucking terrified, hair on fire, scared as fuck, because what is coming over the next 20 years is going to absolutely convince people that we fucked up burning oil. We fucked up. Because now we've got all this methane being produced by the planet that we can do nothing about. And then the news about diatom die-offs is going to shock the world. Well, folks, diatoms no longer, the ocean is so acidified that we can no longer guarantee that diatoms and the microorganisms in the ocean can form their shells properly. And so 80% of the animals that make our oxygen will be dead in the next 15 years. That's a science fiction have to leave the Earth in a spaceship scenario, ladies and gentlemen. It's exactly what that is. I've made videos about diatoms. I don't like to do it because usually people that understand what I'm saying, it's a pretty scary thought. That diatoms are already struggling manufacturing their shells because of ocean acidification. 60% of the carbon we put in the atmosphere is already in the ocean. And then we're filling it with microplastics too. Yeah, we're gonna kill off these fucking diatoms, and we're gonna have an acidified ocean, and that's the end of the human race because we will no longer have an atmosphere. It'll turn into something unrecognizable over the next few million years. Might even look like Venus for a while. I don't know. It's unpredictable. The experiment we started is running, and I can't predict what the end is going to be, but I can tell you that the fucking beginning processes is going to be enough to wipe us out. Aren't you glad you watched this video? That's why I don't sell shit on here. These poor fuckers. I thought when they got to Doug Flutie selling Testosterone Max, Engorge, whatever their shit is, they try to sell these guys that are morons. Yeah, you're the fucking reason we're in the trouble we're in, because you'll believe anything. Yeah, you'll believe climate change doesn't exist, the world is fucking flat. It's the ignorant people of this world that have allowed the oil companies to convince themselves that it's okay. There's no such thing as climate change. Don't worry about it. Get you a big old Cadillac Escalade SUV and live in the city with it. It's human nature. That's one of the slides when I drop it in there that causes the most consternation, is that fucking piece of, humanity. And when you drop that in there, you're like, doesn't matter where you put it, fuck shit up. Testosterone Max, it's full of testosterone. Get it today. The men of this fucking world, if you know what you need to do, you need to help save the planet for the next generation. And that's not through violence. You know what it's through? It's through absolute action that disturbs those who think it's okay to destroy a planet for profit. You make their business as uncomfortable as possible. If that means walking up and down in front of their fucking stores with signs and there's 50,000 of you, that would make a difference. Not 360 million Americans, just 50,000 of you walking up and down the street with signs saying enough is enough, we want this to fucking stop. That's what they're doing in Europe. You see, in America, we can't even fucking tell the truth from a lie anymore, let alone try to save our world for our grandchildren. Is that true, my fellow Americans? Is that true?